Well, this is part 2 in our series, all dedicated on how to start filming your own deer hunt. In part 1, we talked about the main camera gear, what you need to buy, what style your filming is, how to determine that, and what you need for your secondary camera and your audio system. And this is part 2, basically where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. Everything that you need to get it up in the tree and actually start filming your hunt. And actually, we're going to talk about all the gear and all the accessories that you might want to consider buying before deer season gets here. Now, obviously, there is a lot that goes into filming a deer hunt. We've already covered the camera gear, the audio systems, and the main stuff. But there is so much gear that goes in that you need to buy to really throw it all together and make sure you're putting out some quality stuff. Everything from the tree stand, the safety equipment, the camera arms, the fluid head that goes on the camera arm, the tripod, the backpack, what you need to get all this gear up into the tree. And that's not mentioning a lot. This video could be 30 minutes, if not an hour long. I could talk about this all day and give you some really helpful tips, but obviously we can't do that. So I'm just going to cover the basics, and hopefully this advice that I give you helps you out. Now, I think the best place to start is before you get up in the tree, how you haul this gear, which is basically a backpack in order for you to fit everything that you need. And for that, I turn to the Campbell Camera, I think it's Camera Pack by Badlands. And it's a really good backpack. It cost me $300, but it was well worth it, and I've been using it all of last deer season. It was a great backpack. I can fit whether I'm using a tripod, turkey hunting, or I'm putting my camera arm on it with all of the fluid head, all the camera gear, the main camera, secondary camera, all the accessories that go into it. It's just got a suspended water resistant pouch for my DSLR and for the lenses or my camcorder. Then it's got a lot of pockets for GoPros, accessories, batteries, audio system, all of that. Next thing after that is a fluid head. You need a good base to put your camera gear on that can hold the weight of your camera gear that attaches to the camera arm or the tripod that I'm going to cover next. But you have to start with the base. And obviously, when you think about fluid heads, one of the main companies that come up is Manfrotto. And I've got the 500. It's a great head. It's very smooth for pans. It's very easy to operate and stick on when I'm filming, so that's a suggestion. But after that, you got to get a tripod, and I suggest one that's very durable, that obviously the fluid head can go on. Really, you try to go for the lighter ones, but you're kind of stuck with what you get as far as durability and something that's going to last a long time and support the weight and is pretty flexible. Now, really, after you've got your backpack, you got your fluid head, you got your tripod, but we're working our way up into the tree now. And by far the most important thing, especially when filming whitetail hunts, is the camera arm. That is really going to be your solid base for you to film everything on. If you want quality shots, you got to get a good quality camera arm. Getting the right camera arm definitely decides a lot of how tired you get, because it can get old pretty fast, and a lot of other factors when it comes to filming a whitetail hunt. And really the big 2 or 3 things that you really need to think about when it comes to choosing a camera arm is, one, it has to be light. When you're trying to carry stuff in every day into the field, it gets old trying to carry a big, loud, clanking, heavy piece of equipment. So it's got to be light, and it's got to be easy to strap down, on the backpack, and something that is not going to make a lot of noise or is not very heavy and you're not going to get tired with walking to the stand. The second thing is it has to be easy to set up. And I like to put you guys into a scenario when I talk about this. So, when you're whitetail hunting, you're going to go in at dark, you're going in after a mature buck or whatever, you're going into the woods, you're going in with a red light. It's cold, you've got a lot of bulky clothes on, you climb 20 feet up a pair of sticks and into a hang-on set, and you've got your backpack, you place that on a hook, you've got to get your camera arm up before you get anything else out of your backpack. And this is where a quality camera arm counts. You got to be able to get something that is easy to sling up, that doesn't require a lot of moving parts. It's just one thing that you easily set up and you slide the arm actually in place. A lot of companies, there's a lot of camera arms on the market, but some look good on paper or online, but they have a lot of moving parts, especially stuff that could fall out of the tree, or they don't consider noise. You need something that's very quiet. So the biggest 2 things out of the 3 things is definitely Noise, it can't be very loud, and it's got to be very easy to set up, because if you do this every day, having a bad camera arm that's hard to set up is going to discourage you from taking the camera out. Now, when it comes to camera arms that I use Muddy camera arms, and I know a lot of guys in the industry that do. It's just a proven product in this industry as far as camera arms go. And really, the system is really light. It's something that you're going to put on your backpack, something that you can take to a stand endeavor. It's not going to annoy you on how heavy it is and eventually, you know, cause you not to film. So it's a light system, but it really shines in the two most important aspects when it comes to camera arms for filming whitetail hunts, and that is ease of setup, noise, and really function when you actually are filming. And again, they really thought about this product whenever they put it together, and it's really thought about for the hunter. A lot of people, or a lot of different camera arm companies, suggest to leave bases up in the tree, and in theory that's a good thing, but this system is all one piece. It's got the base and the camera arm, and again, it's really well thought out. We've all got little tree stand hooks for our bows or for our backpack up in our tree stand or in our packs, and really that's all you need to set up one of these. It's got an easy hang system, just something that you can hang the base on to hold it in place for you while you throw a strap around, hook it to the knob. And my favorite part of a camera arm is Muddy silent strap. Basically, you just throw it around, hook to the knob, and you can cinch it tight. It's not a ratchet strap, you know, which is obviously loud. All you do is cinch it tight, clamp it, and it stays in place. It's very easy to take down when you're done with the hunt. So it's very easy to set up. You know, the camera arm just slides in after onto the base after you're done setting up. It holds its weight really nice. It extends far. Everything that you're going to need, especially when you're just picking up that light camera gear that I talked about in the first video in this series. It levels really nice. It levels side to side. It levels up and down on the tree, so you can get the perfect level, and it slides nice. It can handle its weight. So as far as camera arms go, I chose to go with Muddy. Again, it's just a proven product in this industry. But after the camera arm, you actually need another base, not an entire camera arm base, but something for your secondary angle or that little action or GoPro camera. And for that, Muddy also makes a small head, and that's what I like to use. I don't like to carry a whole lot up into the stand. I'm obviously filming, so I've got a ton of stuff already, so I try to keep it minimal at best. But I just screw on my bow hanger where I can hook my bow or my gun up to, and I put Muddy's small head, and I can actually just screw right on to any type of hanger, whether it's a 2-piece or just a hook, 1-piece, 2-piece, 3-piece, it doesn't matter. You just put the head on, and you put the GoPro, you screw it onto that head, and it's very simple to operate, and it gets that secondary camera angle of what you need. So that really covers all the basics of the gear that you need. Obviously, in the first video in this series, we talked about the actual camera gear, the main camera, the secondary camera, and the audio system, and how you determine what camera you need for the style that you're going to be filming the whitetail hunts in. And this kind of covers all the gear. Again, the camera arm, the secondary camera base, the tripod, the fluid head, the backpack. And I know I really didn't specifically go into pricing of all these items, but I'll link all the items up and give the prices for you guys in case you guys want to check out the products I was talking about and some of the suggestions that I gave you guys. But I hope this advice helps you to pick and choose the gear if you want to start filming your hunts this year or adapt your filming setup or tree stand setup. But some other advice that I'm going to give you: always stay safe when you're filming hunts. It's easy to just forget about that when you're all caught up in all of this stuff and running the camera on the arm and trying to run the secondary camera and making sure the audio system and video looks good. It's easy to get caught up and forget about safety. Always wear a safety harness, always have a safe line on the tree and hook it up. Make sure you're hooked up to it and you stay safe all the way from the bottom of the tree all the way to the top of the tree. So that's really a key piece of advice. But the next video in this series, we're going to wait a little bit. We're going to wait till kind of middle of summer or end of summer to start talking about the actual tree stand setup and some actual tips when you are actually hunting. But we're hoping to get a little bit closer to whitetail season before we start that video in this series. But for the time being, if you guys have any questions on this video or the first video in this series, comment below or comment on Facebook, and we'll be happy to answer.